What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the top of the map in the red color, playing as Ra. His name is Magic. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Ra as well. His name is Squash. The map is Blue Lagoon. It's currently 1-0 for Magic in this best of 3 series. They played not too long ago. Magic winning that first game against Squash's Zeus. Squash not being able to finish him off with the Athena Rush, decided to swap into Ra, going the same god as Magic here. If I've ever seen any Ra matchups before, I can tell you a couple of things. Strategic-wise, there are 3 strategies you can try in the Ra mirror. Strategy 1 is a Bast Scarab all-in. Generally doesn't work, but you can catch some people off guard. Strategy number 2 is 2 town center and be very aggressive with Locust. So your Locust, Siege Tower, Cavalry, all in, kind of push, well, not even all in, but kind of push to punish your opponent for doing strategy number 3. Strategy number 3 is fast 3 town center, very, very quick, or fast 3 town center, full population, very, very quick Mythic Age. It's like a 145 Mythic Age, 14, 30, 15 minutes into the game. And I've seen Squash do that strategy and be absolutely dominant with it. So we'll see if Squash goes for that one on Blue Lagoon. Blue Lagoon's a bit of a different map, though, because all the gold mines around the front of your base, and grabbing 3 town centers doesn't necessarily secure them in any way, shape, or form. So maybe Blue Lagoon's not the way to go for 3 town center strat. Maybe just the 2 town center tar here, going very aggressive on those raids on the gold mines is the way to go. Now, we'll see what Magic's wanting to do. I have not seen Magic play this matchup in quite some time. I remember he played it a lot against Joe, and he was doing the 3 town center ultra fast Mythic Age. Thank you so much for the Prime Top 0B. Appreciate that one, man. Hope you enjoy the games. So I haven't seen Magic play this one in a while, so I'll see if he's coming up with anything new, or go for the old stuff. You can go for an ultra fast 2nd town center on this map as well, like go for a 4-minute advance time, and get an ultra fast 2nd town center, which does set you up with a slightly better economy than the standard 2 town center Ra tar build. It's more of like an Isis build or a set build, which then gets bolstered by the rain later. We'll see if that's what Magic wants to try here, or if that's what Squash wants to try here. It kind of looks like Squash is... I want to say it kind of looks like Squash is just going for the standard build. He's got 5 villagers on gold, 7 villagers on food, just about to have the food to advance here. The temple's going up. Villagers going over to wood. 1 more villager out of the town center onto wood would give him enough wood to get Shadoof and everything else. He's got Zebra over here to get this town center, and it is looking very, very much like a standard build here for Squash. In fact, it looks really, really nice. I think the only thing he needs is a couple more villagers on wood right now instead of all on gold, and this mining camp needs to be on the other side of the gold mine. It's a Skadi mining camp here. Not going to cut it for the efficiency of your gold income. Magic, on the other hand, has he advanced yet? He has advanced. So it's 50%, or we'll go 55% to 33%. So slightly faster for Magic in order to get his 2nd town center going. And the boom wars are commencing. Magic with only 1 villager on wood as well. So maybe this is a part of the sort of a part of the meta for Ra Mirror on Blue Lagoon. Both players doing a very, very similar thing here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Magic grabbing this town center, seeing the large gold mine, seeing the rhinoceros here. Pharaoh's over here already. Bubba Joe on the case to throw that one up. Wadget spawns for Magic. He's going to start scouting around with that one. Squash already on a second town center. He is already over here. When we see Squash moving forward, villagers moving forward, going to be hitting that Pharaoh there. The town center going up. And here's the big problem here. The big problem is town centers right next to each other. So an all-in, a 2-town center all-in, whoever gets the heroic age first and gets the stuff out first can bolster their all-in with mercenary cavalry while their opponent's going to have to try and defend. So you can't just defend with mercenary against the all-ins here because there's mercenary for your opponent as well. And I would not be surprised to see this game ending very, very early in this on this map with these town centers essentially in the same screen, spamming mercenary at each other, or this game to go very, very long with the mercs fighting each other all game. Those are the two options that I can foresee happening here. But we just said that Squash's Rhino a little bit better than Magic's Rhino in terms of how close they are to the town center, but Magic's Goldmine incredibly good here in this situation. And obviously Squash has got this one over in the corner here, which is going to be fine. But this town center for Magic can go straight onto a gold mine, whereas Squash has to kind of walk a little bit further for that one, which is a bit sad, but it is what it is. Armory coming up for Squash. No armory for Magic as of yet, which is a big, big no-no. As Ra, it takes, well, as Egyptian, let's check it out. As Egyptian, it takes a laborer a minute and 31 seconds to build an armory. So if you want to advance at any rate that's quick here, you need whenever you advance, you throw that armory up. So right now, one villager building this armory for Magic is going to get up at 7:35, 7:36 or something like that, which means it's going to be an 8-minute 36 advance time, which for a no farm Ra build is slow. Set abusing animal conversion can get up at 7:30 with 2 town centers. Isis just gathering normally can get up at 8. So Ra should be able to get up somewhere in the middle of that because of the priest empowerment helping as well. So we'll see if Squash is going to be able to do something good here. He does have the resources just about to advance. I think you're supposed to have 5 villagers on gold, but looks like 4 is potentially the right amount for Squash. Just about to finish off his armory here in advance with 1 or 2 more villagers coming out of his town centers. Question is, where do you go from here as the villagers we're going to be running out of resources very, very soon. There's elephant over here and there's pigs in his base. Do you go for cavalry here? Do you go for chariot archer siege tower? Do you go for a very early trade route in order to help bolster the mercenary here? The questions are absolutely numerous. The Wadget's scouting around for Magic, just checking out the corners of the map. If we check out Magic's scouting here, he's actually seeing quite a lot of the map, so he's going to know what the corners sort of look like already, and we compare that to Squash, who hasn't scouted much of the map at all so far. In fact, he doesn't even know that there's a town center here. He just knows that there's a mining camp and a granary here, which doesn't really give a lot away. And Magic, he's going through Hathor now, so about when I said he would be going through it, and we do see that Squash is 40% to Magic's 15%, so about 6 seconds advantage here for Squash into the heroic edge. We'll see if that matters or not. Magic with only 3 villagers on wood right now, possibly putting some more over to wood at this point. Yes, he is. So he's going to have 6 villagers, and he is constantly pumping villagers out. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more villagers going to wood here to start spamming the chariot archers. Though, cavalry, not a bad idea in this matchup either, because then they can deal with the siege towers and the chariot archers that come out. And because they are Ra cavalry, they dodge arrows very, very easily. Unlike, say, Set or Isis cavalry against chariot archers sometimes doesn't work as good. Hathor coming through for Squash. Migdol's Stronghold going up immediately here. You see the Wadget searching around. I do believe, I really hope that Squash doesn't try and waste, or Squash doesn't waste his Locust here. I think it is one of the biggest mistakes you can do in this matchup, in fact. There's the Heroic Age from Magic. Migdol Stronghold coming up. This Siege Works coming up. The Rock will spot this, and this is a very juicy villager thing here, but the villagers have got Skin of the Rhino. And if you Locust this... Oh god, he almost loses the rock. If you Locust this, these villagers would not die. If they aren't Alt S, they'll just simply run back and get away from those bugs. But it would delay the Migdol, I guess. But not really worth it when you're going for what looks like a siege tower push here. Look at all that wood income for Squash. He is going to be getting units out crazy fast. Maybe 2 siege works wouldn't be a bad idea. We do see the siege works coming up for Magic here. Not empowering the siege works is a big mistake. You can see that the uptime is 91 seconds on the siege works here. You definitely need to empower that one with the Pharaoh because it helps out so much. The Magic's already on his 3rd town center here. This is very, very ballsy from Magic. Let's see what he's got. He's got the berries left. He doesn't have the food left here. Does he have a market up? You can buy food. It's one thing that a lot of, not a lot of Egyptian players, but Magic has definitely been doing recently is he's been just going very heavy on the gold, throwing a market down, and then buying food, buying wood if he needs it, because it's just so much more efficient in the early stages of the game to get food from gold because it gathers faster and the trade. And then it also slows your opponent down as well because normally they want to trade a little bit to get to the mythic age and things like that, and you can kind of counteract that. But we just see that Squash is seeing the Chariot Archers move off. Chariot Archers do not counter Chariot Archer raids, contrary to popular belief, but Suchos and Wadjet do though, as they do not miss. And we've got some decent shooting ability that I've been practicing. More siege towers out for Squash. He's ready to move forward. 3 is probably enough. I'd rather wait for 4 though, to be honest, and keep that rock ready to pick them up if you need to as another option. But we do see the villagers coming forward. The siege towers hitting the town center. We see a shifting sands here from Magic. Very, very smart. That's a lot of resources lost there, but Squash counters it with his own shifting sands. There is the rain from Magic to block the locust. Very, very smart there by Magic yet again, but you just have to retreat here. Just retreat. The mercenary cavalry have already been made. They will die. I hate it. You hate to see it. The town center gets a lot of damage dealt, but that there was 900 resources for the siege towers. These mercenary cavalry still fighting, and if they don't die to their lifespan, they have gotten their money's worth. We see the siege tower coming back in. More mercenary cavalry going to be hitting this one with only 1 siege works here. These siege towers come out too slow to go in one by one. We see the town center getting a lot of damage done. Squash still sitting 1 town center here, and Magic has managed to hold on for the time being here by spamming these mercenary out. Small mistakes like that can cost you the game when you make these big pushes onto enemy town centers like that. You just retreat, let the mercenary cavalry die, come back in with a siege tower, a locust, take the town center down, make your push. Oh, and Squash doesn't even want to play it out. Squash taps out there. Magic's defense too good because he has 3 town centers here. He is so far in front. I believe that Squash probably thought that Magic had up farms as well here, but he didn't, and I don't think that Squash is as far behind here as Squash thinks. I think what Squash can do at this point, instead of continuing to push into Magic, he can go and build 2 trade markets here, which you should have already had. He should have had 1 market going up. Build 2 markets, transition into farms here, get the trade going with his own reign, which is going to be much stronger because Magic has it, and then he can get his trade route out, defend, just hold on to this location for as long as he can until his trade route's all set, and then he should be okay. Tornado might come before he can stabilize, but I think there's some avenue to keep playing in this game. But obviously Squash feels like he didn't get enough value out of those siege towers. It's too far behind and he appreciates Magic's skill too much to continue in this game. Sometimes a lot of the lower level players ask the question, why did they resign there? Sometimes it's justifiable questions, but when you're playing against the player of Magic's caliber, can feel like if you make mistakes that are this big, it's just too much to come back from. So GG, well played by Magic, wins this best of 3. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Haven't seen a lot of Magic versus Squash games. I'd love to see more of them if they ever play. Very, very entertaining people to watch. If you enjoy the games, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.